Welcome. My name is David Bryden. I'm the Director of Library Services, and today we're going to be talking about a part of business research which we're calling looking up and making a company list. So there are a lot of reasons that I might want to corral all the names of a whole group of companies and be able to use them. For instance, I could be looking for a job and I would like to see a list of companies within a particular industry area. I could be working for a company and we would like to broaden out or sell our product to a certain kind of company within an industry. I could be working for a nonprofit and I could want a list of companies to be able to do fundraising, to ask them for money. I could want an internship or a job in a local community or an area, maybe a county or area, and I'd like to see a list of all those companies within a particular county. So there's just dozens of different reasons why I might want to develop this kind of list. But today we're going to do specifically one type of area, and that is, what if I wanted to be able to have a list of companies within an industry? I can contact them because that's an industry I'd like to work in. I can see if they have job openings. I can send resumes to them if I'd like to, or do other research on them. So today what we're going to do, and this is going to last about 8 minutes, but today what we're going to do is we're going to look at different industry groups. We're going to select one or two, and then we're going to build a couple of lists and then download those into Microsoft Excel. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, I'm on the library homepage. This is www.highpoint.edu/library. While I'm on that page, I'm going to simply go down, and the first thing I'd like to do is I want to be able to go in and I want to be able to find some companies and find out what industry group they are in. Now, industry groups are classified by the United States government as a way to keep track of what goes on within industries in the United States. When the country runs into recessionary or depression time periods, being able to keep tabs on the economy is ever more important. It's what's kept us out of some really deep recessions. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to go over here to either Databases A to Z or the View All, either one. I'm going to click into the resources that the university purchased for you guys to use. The one I'd like to start off with is called Insights. So it's Business Insights. So I just typed in the word Insight, and it's just going to get me to this one quickly. I'm going to click on the link, and I'm going to go in and do a company search. So this is easy to do, and I'm going to run through 3 or 4, but there's just one piece of information we'd really like to know. So I'm going to start off with Pfizer. So Pfizer is a pharmaceutical company. They sell drugs. They develop, research, make, and sell drugs. So I'm going to do a quick search for that. What shows up on this next page is here's Pfizer. Please notice there are other Pfizers here because they have divisions, segments, subsidiaries. They're all over the world. So here's Pfizer in Ireland. But I'm going to go with this one right here, and I'm choosing this one because it's a publicly traded company. So this is the best one for me to take a look at right now. So I'm going to click on Pfizer, and I'm here. I've really done everything I need to do. Now, if I was just going to go interview in this company, or if I was looking for an internship here, reading up on the company a little bit can occur using some of this company information tabs. Market share reports, rankings, SWOTs, all that kind of stuff. But the thing I'd like to know now to make my list is what industry are they in? And you'll notice on the right-hand side that they're in the pharmaceutical preparation manufacturing. There are others they're in as well, which I should note, but this is their primary one. So this is where they make money. And it's 325412, but here's the name of it. So guys, I'm going to jot that one down so I'll be able to remember it, 325412. Especially if I'm going to do more than one of these. So that's a good one to go in and take a look at. But guys, you could be looking up all sorts of companies here. So one that's been in the news a lot lately, of course, is Boeing. So I'm going to go in and take a look at Boeing real quick. So these guys are the aircraft manufacturer. So we're going to go in and do that one as a search. And again, I could be looking up any company name here I wanted to. So there's Boeing. When I click on it, these are really scary because these are such big companies, $76 billion in total revenue. So there's my industry again, aircraft manufacturing. Now notice these are highlighted, so if I'd like to read a little bit about the industry group, I can simply click one of those links to be able to do it. But, all right, just like we did last time, here's my code, 336411, and I'm going to jot that one down too. I don't really need to, but I'll keep that one just in case I want it. And this is for aircraft manufacturing. So let's do one more just for ha-has. I'm going to go into a really simple one. So here's Geico. Everyone hears about Geico Casualty. Now, Boeing and Pfizer were both publicly traded companies, and we knew that because they had a ticker symbol, right? So I could find them on an exchange. So here's Geico Casualty, and this, on the other hand, is not. So Geico is actually owned by another company. If you've ever liked to go and take a look, you can, although the company hierarchy is sitting right here if I wanted to. But again, what I really wanted to see is this. So these guys are in property casualty insurance carriers, and then there's my code to go along with it. So these codes are maintained by the United States government. They change almost every year, but the codes again are a way to track industry and industry groups. So that's it. We're ready to build a list now. So to do that, we're going to use a different resource. And the one we're going to use is something called Reference USA. So I've gone back to databases A to Z. I put USA in the little search box there, and Reference USA pops up. Please note that you're going to have to come off of these links to be able to have access to these resources. So if I'm at home or off campus, I especially need to do that because it will prompt me for username and password. Okay? Okay, good. So we're ready to make we're ready to come here and make a company list. So there's a couple things to go in here and play with. The U.S. jobs and internships linking is on here. It's really great. And then also community lifestyles. If you never, consumer lifestyles. This is great fun to go in and play with it, and covers 3.3 million individuals. So it's neat. It talks about their buying and shopping habits online, habits like do they read books, do they drink wine, do they drink coffee, do they have dogs, right? It does all that kind of stuff. It's real fun to go in and play with, so you should think about that. But today, this is what I want to use, is I want to use the U.S. businesses. So with U.S. businesses, I can simply go in and look up a business. So I'm going to go down here and use Becton Dickinson. Now, Becton Dickinson is a surgical manufacturer, so they do instruments and so forth used in surgery, and it's a pretty wealthy company. So I'm going to take a look at that one real quick. So notice I got about 28 hits, and the thing I want you to see here is that not only does it do Becton Dickinson, it does all of its subsidiaries. It does all of its other locations, right? These are all over the country. There's actually one in North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina, right? They're research components down here in the Research Triangle part. But you'll notice these all have up arrow keys. And if I want to see the main company, I can actually use that and move up to the main company. So here it is, and they're in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, my goodness. And if I hit the down arrow, I can see all the parts of the company. Now, we already saw most of those, but you can also see subsidiaries or other pieces of the company that are held by the main company. So if I click on Becton Dickinson, I can then stop. I can scroll down the screen. Notice the Indeed job boards here. So if they have some job listings, they should pop up here. But here's that numbering again. So there's that 339112, and these guys take this out to another number. So it's actually 11203. So I'm going to jot down that number just to make certain I remember that. So 339-11203, and that's the one for Becton Dickinson, but it also pull up all the companies in that industry group. So these reports are neat. They're long. They've got all this stuff about what the company does, how long they've been around, all the people in the company, so I know who I'm going to get in touch with if I need to. And then down toward the bottom is just some data pieces and so forth. Okay? So quick and easy pieces to come up with and take a look at. And I can do this for any of the companies that are in here. One of the things that's so interesting about this is that everybody's in here, right? It's not just businesses, it's us. Right? So there's High Point University. So there's a bookstore and a health center and so forth. I could be doing churches, so if you know of a church, you could throw a church in here, right? Any of that. And you'll notice that the Board of Trustees is actually the top of the pile there. So they're the big part of High Point University as far as structure of the company is concerned. Okay? So it's neat to go in and take a look at this, but now we want to go in and build a list and download a list. So this next part is quick and easy now that we've seen some of these background pieces. Okay, so I'm going to hit a new search here, and then instead of this quick search, which I've been doing, I'm going to go and do an advanced search. And I'm going to show you two ways of doing this. So I want you to think about it a little bit, and after we're done, I want you to try one or two of these, because the only way to get used to doing this is to practice a little bit. Notice up and down the left-hand side here are all those pieces that we saw in that record: the name, the people in the company, right? The industry groups, where they're located. So guys, I had a lady who had just graduated from an interior design program, and she wanted to work for an interior design firm, but only in Clearwater, Florida. So we used this to go in, limit to Clearwater, Florida, or the county of Clearwater, Florida. And then we limited it to interior design. And we produced her a list. She took that list of, golly, now it's 175 companies, and she sent her resumes to them. Off she went. That's what she did, right? So there's lots of ways of using this. But today I'm just going to build an industry list. So let's get started. So I've got all these pieces I can use, and here are the ones I'm going to use. I'm going to go over here to keyword and NAICS code. That was the industry part. So I'm going to checkbox that. Notice this pops up. Now we talked about this before, but I want to use the primary one here. So I'm going to do a primary NAICS only search. And I had a number, remember? So 339-1120. And before I hit the 3, I want you to see what happens here. Because as I back off from these numbers, if I put in fewer numbers, it actually breaks out the area. So hospital equipment suppliers, oxygen therapy, surgical equipment, scientific instrument designers. There's some cool stuff here. So I can actually go in and choose more than one of these. Or I could choose one and come back and choose the other. But today I'm just going to choose that one. That's that 03. Physician and surgeons, equipment and supplies, manufacturers. So to make this active, I'm going to just click it. And it goes down here under selected. Now I can always check what I'm doing. So I've got a huge number of companies over here, right? So under view results and then update count. So I'm going to click on update count. So right now in the United States, I have 3,418 different companies, organizations, whatever, who fall into this, physician and surgeons, equipment and suppliers. I don't want to look at 3,418 companies. I want to look at fewer than that. So I'm going to scoot down this list and look. Now I can limit to an area, just North Carolina, just New Jersey, just Cincinnati, right? I mean, I can limit if I want to. But remember, I'm not worried about where they're located in the United States. So many people are working remotely or just working in one section of a country that's not a big issue like it used to be. So I'm just going to keep going with this. I do want to go down here and limit to either the size of the company or the kind of company. One of the ones that I use a lot, and I think it'll work well for this, is headquarters. So remember when we did Boeing and we had all those listings for Boeing, but there was only one headquarter. When we looked at Pfizer and there's only one Pfizer headquarter company. That's what I want to do, right? Because they're the ones I think are going to be hiring. So I'm going to go in and check headquarters. Now I think you'll notice that when I go up here to update the count, it's going to take this down considerably. So now I've ended up with just 123 companies. And I can make a list right this second. 123 is still a lot. I want to make it a little bit smaller. So the other way in which I can filter these results is by sales volume. What sales volume does for me is says, do you want small companies or large companies? Now guys, people often go in and just look for small companies because they want to work for a smaller company, 10 employees, not 10,000. But I'm going to go in and do larger companies by revenue, by sales volume. So over $1 billion in sales. Update my count. 8. Okay, 500 million to $1 billion in sales. 13, getting better. 500 million. Update my count. Sweet spot. So this is 36 companies. And now I should go in and view my results. You ready? Okay, so once I've done all this stuff, I've got 36, I'm doing headquarters, I've got some money going here. I can click on view my results. And what I get to see on this next screen is a list of all of those companies in the United States which actually fall into my industry area. So there's Becton Dickinson, but there's whole bunches here. And guys, I have never heard of some of these companies before. Have you noticed that? Right? And I only know Becton Dickinson because someone talked with me about it. But that's what's so cool about this, is that I can establish a list of companies, but I can establish a list of companies based on an industry group. I don't have to worry about what I know or don't know. So any of these I want to, I can simply click into them and read a little bit about them. Here's 3M, which is a big, big company. And you can see all the jobs they have open right now. They do internships and everything. I mean, look at some of this stuff, right? So that's one of the things that I can do. But the other thing I can do is I can download the whole list. So to download the list, all I'm going to do is mark all of everything that's on this page. And I'm actually going to go to the second page too and mark it as well. So they're all marked now. And you'll notice right here on the bar, it says a little thing that says download. So comma delimited, I can do summary, which is just basic information, or I can do detailed. Now when I do this, I do detailed because I want to see everything I can. But for now, I'm just going to do summary, but keep it in mind. Click on download my records, and I'm going to end up with this really nice Excel spreadsheet. Open it up, and there are all those companies and so forth, okay? So it makes it really, really easy to go in and take a look at it. So it's a quick way to go in and build a spreadsheet and so forth. Okay, so we've done well. But I want to go in and do this again because I've got one company list, but maybe I'd like to have another one. So I'm actually going to go in here and back up. And I'm back to my search here. I'm going to update my count. So I got the 36 companies. But this time I'm going to go in and get rid of my positions, right? And then I'm going to go in and search for a different one. So this time I'm going to use one of the other ones we talked about, which was 325 412, right? And then I can go in and see, here's my pharmaceutical preparations. So this was Pfizer. I'm going to checkbox that. It's selected. I'm going to update my count, and I end up with 18 companies. So notice that once I have the search set up to do what I want it to do, headquarters, public companies, headquarters, companies with certain sales volume and so forth, I'm ready to go. And I'm actually going to look at my subsidiaries too, just to see if that really improves it. It doesn't change it much, so I'm good to go. So let's go in and take a look at this. View my results, right? So anytime I want to, I can go in here and put these in alphabetical order so I can see them a little bit better. And then I can go in and see actually the companies and so forth that fall into this pharmaceutical areas. Again, download, checkbox, download, comma delimited, yes, summary, yes, download records, yes. Pop open that Excel spreadsheet. Good, I'll accept here. Sorry about that. And then I can see my company names. I'm going to go in and highlight this top line, right? And then I can click into the corner, double click, and it separates everything out very nicely for me. So here are my company names, right? Here's the information about them, phone numbers, all that stuff. I can see how big or small they are over here. And then that's one of my second list. So I can minimize this down, and then I can keep going back and simply building other lists for that. Now I'm going to show you a trick, and then I'm going to shut up. So here's the trick. I'm back here again. Everything's set up. Let me update my count. So I still have the 19 companies in pharmaceutical preparations. Click that away. And guys, you can go in here and you can just start typing. So I'm actually going to take something, I haven't tried this, but I'm going to do construction. And I can scoot down the screen and see what it has under construction companies. I can update my count, and there's 13 companies. Right? And these are big construction companies, okay guys? I can go in and get rid of that, and I can go in and put in something different. So if I'd like to go and take a look at, let's do medical. It'll actually fill in the blanks for me, and I can go in and see if there's somebody that falls in that. Medical alerts, administration, cleaning, electronics, and so forth, so I can go in and see all those pieces that go along with it. Okay? And then I can update my count once I've chosen one of those. Let's do surgical services there, update my count. And I can either find, or in this case not find, other companies that fill in that boxes for me. Okay, so here's my suggestion. After you've watched this and after you've played with it for a few minutes, sit down and build yourself a company list. Because I think if you use this after having seen it, you're going to do a better job of being able to do this in the future. Thank you so much for your time. Please get in touch with us at Smith Library. We'll help you if we can, and we can sit down if you have some special needs and such to go along with it. You guys have a great day.